Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of The Hidden Medium. If you have yet to see episode 2, I recommend you go watch that one because in a world of demons and everything being mean and malicious, episode 2 is a nice refreshing change from that. I'll put a link at the end of this video for you for that. And episode 1 has a shorts added to it for a conclusion. So that's a 2-part video now. So you can watch the episode 1 in entirety and then go to the conclusion to find the follow-up information. So I'll put links for those. But for now, let's dive into episode 3. Episode 3, if you look at the picture, it's actually just looks blank. It just looks like a black picture. It does have a little white or lighter portion up at the top. And for a picture that seems to have nothing to it, it was one of the easiest reads that I have ever done. So I was cooking breakfast and my phone chimed, went over and checked it, and a friend of mine sent me this picture that was sent to her from her niece. She's like, hey, my niece sent me this picture, asked if I could send it to you to meditate on it. So I texted her back. I was like, sure, I'm in the middle of making breakfast. After I'm done, I'll look into it. Didn't even walk back to my stove. I didn't make not maybe 10 steps. And I immediately get, it was my time. So I went. Plain and simple. Like immediately and plain and simple. It was my time. So I went. Like case closed. Done. Shake your hands, we're out. It was kind of funny. So I was like, okay, so go over, finish cooking my eggs. I literally could not make the walk from my kitchen table to the stove. My house is, not that big. And I get a message immediately from this picture. Some spirits just really have no troubles coming through. Like I said, maybe it's, different energies with different mediums. They pick up different spirits differently. Or, he could just have been a seasoned soul, so he can easily, manipulate whatever he needed to do to come through. Those aren't answers that I have, just speculations from my experience. So I finished cooking my breakfast, and before I even eat it, I texted my girlfriend. I was like, all right, set up a Zoom meeting for tonight so we can go over this picture because I didn't even have to meditate on it. Fast forward to that evening, and she sets up a Zoom meeting. So I'm on it. My girlfriend that sent the picture and her daughter, mind you, her daughter is in her late 20s now. So, it's not like a little kid sitting there, just so you have some reference. And then the niece, who is also, mid to late 20s. We're in the Zoom meeting, and I told her daughter, I was like, this picture came through immediately. Like I didn't even have to meditate on it. And it was my time, so I went. I was like, it was the most straight up, plain and simple, cut and dry, to the point reading I have ever gotten. So she gets a big smile on her face, which is always nice for me to see. And she said that the picture was taken by her phone while it was charging that night. She just woke up and all of a sudden there was this picture on her phone, and her grandfather had just passed away. And she's like, I don't know, maybe it's something from him. Maybe, the phone just malfunctioned. Who knows? But when you have someone that can read pictures and get answers, why not try it out? So that's why she sent it over. And I was like, no, it was immediately and cut and dry. So she further explained that her grandpa during his later years went on medication. And she said he was always a cut and dry, straight to the point kind of guy. And while he was on the medication, he was rambling and beating around the bush, and it almost it changed his personality. And so for her to get that reading of straight to the point, it was my time, so I went. Done, She said it was so refreshing because that's her grandpa. She knows he's back to, his old self again, because that's what happens. Your body has the cancers, the diseases, the disorders. Your soul does not. So as soon as your body wears out, your soul will shed that body and all of the dysfunctions and disorders with it. He's back to his old self again, which made her super happy. I was laughing. It was little, 6, 8 words that I just got, and it made a world of difference. You just never know how things are going to play out, which is why, I wanted to make this channel, and why, again, a reading like this gets me so excited, because to me, it was my time. So I went. I'm like, I didn't know whether he was, being exhausted, like, oh, will these people stop bothering me? Or if it was just simplistic, like, I don't know, but I deliver the message as I get it, and that's why, because it made total sense to her and made me super excited that she was able to get that closure, that she's so glad she did send it. And she just wasn't like, what is this weird picture on my phone? Like, how did this get taken? And just delete it. She had the forethought to send it to a friend who knows a girl. So yeah, it's such a plain picture, like literally a black picture. It looks like when you used to get film developed and one just got, messed up and it was just all black and you lost that picture. But yet the simplest read with the clearest message in this picture that seems to be just a black blank canvas. It was my time, so I left. All right, cool. Like, he was done being in that worn out body, that broken down body. The soul shed the house that it was in. I always love that line from the Bhagavad Gita: a worn out body is shed by the dweller. And now she has the closure she needs to know that, Grandpa is his own self again. He's not in pain, not anything. They never are. That's all harbored in your human form. But yeah, so there's episode number 3 for you. Quick and easy, a super easy read. And yeah, it was my time, so I went. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Hidden Medium. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share with your friends or on your social media. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit the icon, because there are many more readings and life stories to be told.